All right, X, take me through practice today, you know, what you guys saw, what you didn't like necessarily, and then kind of speak on that competition level you saw today.
It's day 5, so I mean, people kind of getting in the groove a little bit. Install kind of starting to make sense to people, but it's competitive on both sides, which is good. Good play on offense today. I feel like they got the best of us in that last period, but I mean, that's why we out here. We out here practicing against each other, get better every day. But ultimately, the competition level is very high. It's raised way higher than last year. So ultimately, that's all you can ask for to get ready for the season. So when we walk out there in fall, we know we've been battling against each other forever. We know those guys gonna do their job, offense gonna do their job, defense, special teams, and we come together as a collective.
So you kind of talked about just reflecting on that last period where the offensive might have got the best of you guys, but walk me through kind of the reflection you guys do on a day-to-day basis and just kind of looking back on what you guys could improve on and kind of taking that to the next day of practice.
We kind of really the message has been like playing one play at a time, really, just playing one play at a time. So even though the offense might pop a big run, whatever, it's about getting lined up the next play and being able to focus in on your goal, on your task, and stuff and things like that. So being able to play the next play and forget about the previous play is really the biggest thing, especially on defense. Being able to stop people, getting big stops that's going to translate and help us later on in the game. It's about playing one play at a time.
Gotcha. I just talked to Mason and kind of talked to him a little bit about the depth of the defensive back group in general. Can you kind of add to that and just on your thoughts on the depth of the positions, whether it's corner, safety?
I think it's good. I mean, I think any team you need DBs because, I mean, and then, God forbid, I mean, injuries, anything can happen, but just having that depth, having that competition, just coming out here every day knowing you got to be on your A game. And then the new guys just coming in, like knowing they're going to add something to our team and add something to the defensive back room, it's good. So we just all trying to come together as collective right now, figure out what all each other can do, our strengths, weaknesses, and just build upon that, get ready for August.
What's the balance like that you've noticed? Because there's some guys like Ed and Shamari that are, you know, the veterans of the defensive back group, and you're pretty young yourself still, and just kind of then teaching guys, you know, like Keith and even Keontes, who's kind of come into his own this spring. What's that balance been like?
I mean, it's good. I mean, they just guys that's been in college versus guys that's been in college less. That's all it is. So I feel like the older guys should carry themselves a certain way, do things a certain way. So it's kind of just like follow the leader, really. I mean, those young guys, they just as talented as us. Like that's why they're here. That's why they made it here. So it's just the little things really that separate you and separates you really in the process really of developing yourself as a defense and as a back end. So
what's the coaching been like from Coach Ward and Coach Carrington now in the second year of everything, now kind of taking that team to the next level and kind of setting the standard, you know, higher than it was last year, like Coach Dillingham's talked about?
It's definitely made a big jump, definitely made a huge jump, I would say. Obviously that we had stuff to build upon during the season, guys that played, guys that didn't play, just watching things that we could change and maybe tweak a little bit. But I mean, obviously Coach Ward keeps everything simple, allows us to go out there and play fast and think less. So I love that about his defense, and it's actually coming together. Year 2 is when you're supposed to make that big jump. So we kind of been trying to apply that out here every day, just constantly on it, not trying to go backwards, but trying to go forward. So.
You and Mason both talked about the little things and the details. What are some of those little things and details that you guys are trying to home in on, at least recently?
Footwork, cleaning up our footwork really, so you could just play. Because when you're out there, you're not really thinking about your feet. It's kind of just muscle memory of what you've been doing, like for the past, however, before spring ball, during spring ball. Just focusing on our little keys and indicators and certain calls and certain coverages, things like that. Little things that we need to focus on to give us a heads up on the play, because obviously as defense we're reacting, offense knows what they're doing, so just trying to get a little head start, a little heads up on things that the offense is doing.